At least at minimum, punch them like right here in the throat in that little Adam's apple-y. That can buy you a lot of time. Because like if you crush the windpipe, it's curtains for them.
Spoken from experience?
No. You're not just going around like jabbing people.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jess Anguiano.
And I'm Victoria Dunn.
And we are the executive producers of
Smiling Faces, the soon-to-be hit comedy series.
That's right. And you are listening to our Smiling Faces podcast,
where you get to learn all the things about the process of making the show, of what we're doing with the events, the topics and themes you're going to discover throughout the show, which is exciting. So it's kind of your one-stop shop, besides social media, obviously.
Yeah. Yes, which, by the way, we should just like kickstart right off the bat. Please follow us on our social media. We have Instagram at
Smiling Faces _series.
Facebook at
Smiling Faces Series.
A website at
smilingfacesseries.com. And TikTok, Smiling Faces _series. Do you get the theme? Do you see it? It's a thing.
Do you think it's a Smiling Faces series?
Yeah.
Is this a series about smiling faces?
What do you mean?
No, I'm just being dumb.
Oh. I was like, I glitched out. I was like, what do you mean?
We're going to have a lot to edit here.
You see the wheels, like the gears like turning in my head. I was like, what are you talking about?
So Smiling Faces is a revenge-based comedy. And it's about two women that discover they're dating the same man while they're working at a toxically positive spin studio. So what you can expect with this podcast, we discuss dating. We discuss toxically positive workspaces. Ugh. We also discuss toxic without the positive workspaces.
Yeah, just toxic.
Toxic. Just toxic.
Britney Spears.
Period.
All of that. Yeah. It's like, and then if you have any great like revenge stories, crazy dating, breakup stories, any weird dates you've been on, any annoying work stories you've had, any of that stuff all applies. Yes. And
we've been getting some stories in from some people that have told us just some beautiful stories about women that have been betrayed, men that have been betrayed, and we love hearing these stories, and we'll share them if you're willing to tell us.
Yeah, if you give us a little like thumbs up and say, hey, by the way, I told this to you in confidence, but you can also share it, then we will.
Yeah, totally in confidence.
Yeah.
Just with you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on? What have you been up to lately?
Man, well, I feel like we should probably talk about the fact that we just crushed having our first kickoff event.
Correct.
We hosted a stand-up comedy night called What She Said, and it was all female comics. It was amazing, and this is not even like a brag. It was awesome.
We had the best time. Like, there's one thing to be said for just like putting together a comedy show and having like some funny gals come together. I cannot believe the incredible talent that showed up. We had Kate Novotny.
Yes, Katie Novotny. We had Brie Geiger, Olivia Corkery-Perry.
Jasmine Ellis.
Yes, Kimberly Clark and Nina Wynn. Like,
so obsessed.
Amazing comics. We had a table read of the first 7 pages of the pilot, so people knew what that was like.
It was an epic kickoff.
Dope drinks. And amazing coffee by Alfred.
That's right. And our cocktails were provided by Discover the Cocktail Detective.
Yeah.
Alfred's is doing great.
Yeah, Alfred's is fine. Like, I mean, give them some love and support, but they partner with like giant movies and TV shows, so they're actually doing okay.
Yeah, and also what we've discovered about working with Alfred's is how artist friendly they are. They really love to support artists. So if you're out there and you're looking to connect with a great coffee shop, Alfred's is your place. Also, I feel like we're talking sponsors here, but
right, because I'm like amazed. I'm so excited that we have them. Yes. So it's like, let's give them love.
Alfred sponsored this event. Also, Discover the Cocktail Detective. The Cocktail Detective is an independent owned bartender, Chris Jupitz, who provided all of our cocktails. We had an open bar and incredible drinks.
They were so good. I kind of pounded too many towards the end of the night.
You did.
I was like, I didn't try this one, and like threw it back.
Hey, listen, but the greatest thing is that we had a total hit turnout. We sold out. We raised a ton of money for our for our fundraising event, which is all going into Inclusivity Media, our fiscal sponsor.
Yes.
Inclusivity.
You got it. Take your time, baby.
Inclusivity Media provides support for women, underrepresented communities, people of color to create their works, their artistic endeavors.
Literally the definition of ally.
Yeah,
if I may.
It is. Yeah, that's great. And
Completely.
So they are a fiscal sponsor. Anybody that makes any kind of donations, it's a nonprofit. It's
tax deductible. Uncle Sam loves that.
Yeah, so please feel free to write off all of your great business expenses.
Exactly. to support Smiling Faces.
That being said, the event was amazing. We laughed so hard. These 6 incredible comedians stood up and made us laugh our faces off. We had such a fun night. Like I said, we were packed to the brim. Dave Allison helped us with our sound. The Earl family came in, pitched in, helped us.
Full-blown production. Here's the thing. I was actually there in the moment and setting up and was like, oh, this is a thing. Like, I didn't help make this thing like happen. Like, I walked in and was like, oh, we've got lights and like a DJ and like a sound system. Yeah. Like, I knew that they were doing it and still I was shocked.
You were still delighted.
I was still delighted and like blown away by it.
As you can tell, we're still super hyped up about what a great night it was.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had 2 photographers, Nahar Kabave, Christine Hatcham came and... Wait, did I pronounce that right? Hatcham? Okay, good.
Hatcham.
Hatcham.
It's like an SH.
Hatcham?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Christine Hatcham.
Grammar's crazy.
We have... So what's happening? Basically, what we're discovering is what's happening is our team is growing.
Yes.
Not to mention Mike Bryant, who produces this very podcast.
Indeed.
Yep.
The one and only.
Yes. So between the incredible people that we work with, the thing that's most important to know about Smiling Faces is that we're not just trying to make a television show. We're building a community.
Yeah. And I said this offline, but I am always so blown away by how people are coming together to support this. Because this was just, in my mind, to me, it's just like, oh, it's just a shitty thing that happened to me because this show is based on a real experience. So I'm like, oh, this is just a shitty thing that happened to me. And I wrote about it once I found the funny of it, because that took a minute. And the fact that there's so many people that are like, oh, this also can galvanize so many people and help so many people heal. And we all want to work with you to make this thing happen. Humbled beyond belief. It is shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking. I'm so grateful.
That's the fun thing is like, you know, when we start to talk about betrayal and revenge and like the hurt and recovering from a terrible, painful breakup that has resulted from a betrayal, I think it's such an isolating experience. We can feel so alone.
Yeah.
And you're not alone because you've got us, because
yes,
both of us have been through it.
And it turns out so many people have. The amount of times when I start to tell people about this story, they're usually like, oh my God, I also got cheated on. People are cheating.
Oh, yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah. People be cheating. Yeah, it's crazy.
And like, I think what we both know, at the heart of everything, like while it's happening, all you can do is think like, why wasn't I enough? Why didn't that person love me for who I am? That they had to go find somebody else who is obviously must be better than me. And that was not actually the case. Like what we know about cheaters is it's your own self-hatred.
It's them doing, because which I think the best dagger that I gave to my ex's friends, because they for some reason caped hard for him when I was like, did y'all know that he was doing this to me? And they were just kind of like, yeah, man, you know, it is what it is. And I was like, no, that's not okay. And like snapped at them. And then they're like, you need to calm down. You know, you're just bitter because you're going to be alone for the rest of your life and be this sad old woman alone. And I was like, first of all, why are you coming at me? Your friend's the one that's trash. Yeah. And so all I said back to them, which it made them stop talking to me, was I hope that when you have kids in the future, if you have a daughter, she doesn't date a man like you and your friend. And it really got them to leave me alone because I think they realized, oh, that's a shitty way to treat another human being.
You know, I honestly have 2 responses to that. Like, one, part of me wants to say, like, wow, way to like to your ex, like, way to have some guy friends that are really going to have your back, even though you're like that's some loyalty. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't know how to be loyal, but
right.
Didn't at the time. Who knows now?
I heard, Laura, that he's engaged, maybe married now. So R.I.P. to that girl.
Oh,
we're going to lift her up in prayer.
Take a moment. Just Please look out for our fellow sister.
Our fallen sister.
Yeah, our fallen sister. Ma'am, please come find us. We're Smiling Faces podcast. We're here for you.
Exactly.
No, but people can grow.
They
That's
can't.
not what this podcast is
I don't know
about.
if he's capable. Like that's also that's not what this is about. No. Also, I will say I take umbrage with the fact of I feel like men's go-to attack at women is always where you're going to be alone forever. Like that's like spooky.
I think both of us can attest. Like
I'm fine. Me and my cat Andre are living the best life. So fuck you.
Right? I'm fine. Ever since I of course experienced a similar, not quite your story. I wasn't like working with somebody and discover I was dating, but my ex was cheating on me and I didn't discover it till well after we were broken up. And I think like ever since that relationship has ended, I was like, oh, it's just like, yes, do I want to find a partner? Do I want to like meet somebody that is a good, kind human? Yes. Also, not to the degree of having to put up with being treated poorly.
That's the thing. And like, if that's going to be the trade-off, I don't want it. No. Like, I don't want to just have a partner, just to have a partner.
Yep.
Like someone that's actually going to be an asset to my life and someone who I want to have around. Because otherwise, I got friends. I don't need some dusty son of somebody that's going to like... That's gonna bring me down.
I love when you say that. Somebody's dusty ass son taking care of,
I can take myself on a trip. Like, I don't need to have a vacation with a man who's going to let me down. I can book my own trip. I can do my own things. Or like, I actually love going to things by myself. It's fine.
Well, because you meet incredible people.
You do.
I went to Cancun. I will never forget doing this. It was shortly after my split with my ex. I couldn't go home. I didn't want to be at home with my family. Not because I didn't love them, not because they weren't supportive, but it was just too hard to have to like wake up every day and be like, oh yeah, these are the people who know that somebody left me. So what I did, actually, I left him, let's be honest. But I mean, when you cheat on somebody, you're in essence leaving them. But anyway, so what I did was I said, you know what? I am going to, instead of going home for the holidays, I'm going to Cancun by myself.
Love that.
I 100% did this. I went to Cancun for 10 days. By the way, it was so affordable.
I bet, because people don't be doing that during the holidays and stuff. They don't. They try and get tourism like that.
Yes.
Sidebar.
Yes.
And then we'll going back to this.
Yes.
But there is a thing where people are trying to there's discounts on flights instead of Black Friday, they call it Travel Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and exotic places try to get people to buy trips to exotic locations at an extreme discount. So it's like, oh, do you want to go to Paris or Mexico for Christmas? They're deeply discounted on Travel Tuesday after Thanksgiving. You're welcome. Continue.
Tip. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind because this was the best trip I've ever had. I was by myself. 10 days in Cancun. I had a gorgeous room with a balcony overlooking the ocean. Ooh. And I met incredible people. I met a beautiful family that I'm still in touch with, a mom and her 2 daughters who live out here in LA. And I met another family that we just like partied in the pool together every day. We would just like have drinks at the bar and party in the pool together. I met not one, but 2 single men. One of them, I could leave him and his tractor out in the middle of Iowa.
Tractor?
Yeah. Hot troopers. He was hot, but that was it.
That's fair.
And listen, I
can take a corn-fed.
No,
we can take a corn-fed man.
Obviously,
yeah.
I mean, I'm corn-fed myself. I'm deeply attracted to corn-fed men. I don't know if I want the world to know that. I love me some corn-fed man. Yeah, but I do. But then I also met a man who I could not even tell you his name, but we met.
Doesn't matter.
No, we met. It was so funny. I'm going to be straight up about this. I met this guy. He was beautiful. He was sitting at the bar, and I was sitting by myself at the bar. By the way, not trying to meet anybody. I had just had dinner, and he was sitting at the bar. It was just the 2 of us. And I even think I was drinking like a pina colada. And I think,
wow.
Yeah, like super basic.
Full vacation mode.
Mode. And in the plastic like hurricane glass. Oh. I know. You're all going to go book a trip to Cancun. I cannot encourage it enough. But so I was drinking this pina colada, and this man, he was from Switzerland. And he just looked over. He was like 2 bar stools down from me. And he just goes, what is that? And I was like, I kind of laughed. I was like, It's obviously a pina colada.
Right. Come now, sir. Please.
It might have even been like virgin style. It might have been like, I'm done drinking for a minute. So he was like, I want one of those. And we started talking and he goes, have you had dinner yet? And I was like, no. I totally had dinner.
Oh, good.
But
Yes.
so he's like, let's go have dinner. He took me to this, it was like, it's all inclusive. So, but
yeah.
he was like, let's go. We went to the Mexican
He's like, it's
restaurant.
on me.
Yeah. But he pulled out a chair. He was super classy, a total gentleman. We had dinner. I was so full. And I was like, oh God, if I sleep with this man, it's going to be problematic. Yeah. But we had dinner. He was like, let's get drinks. Let's do margaritas. We got margaritas. He's like, let's go over to this other bar. Let's do a tequila tasting, which he did shell out for because it was like old bottles of tequila.
Love that.
But I also was like so overindulging. I was.
That's what you do on vacation. If you're hungry, you did it wrong.
Oh yeah, and side note, I did go back to his room. I slept with him that night. It was amazing.
Love.
And I would have never met him if I was with somebody else.
See, exactly.
Yeah, just sitting at the bar alone, just like enjoying my virgin pina colada.
Yeah, you can learn. Honestly, you have so many cool experiences when you do things alone. Like it reminds me, I went to Santa Barbara to like film this thing, but I'd never been to Santa Barbara before. And it was like, I want to go around to the bars. I want to see what the hot spots are. And I remember I sat at this one bar and this random pasty man just like
Got a random pasty man.
just sat down next to me. But I was like, you know what? I'm open because anytime that I say, yeah, I'm going to talk to this random person or do whatever, I always get some sort of story out of it. Like I do most things because the story will be good or it's going to end up being funny. So I talked to him. Turns out he was here in America on asylum from Russia. And so I was like, tell me everything.
Fascinating.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, talk to me about that. And he goes, oh yeah. He's like, I spoke out against Putin and blah, blah. He goes, so I needed to leave and get away. He goes, because a lot of people in Russia, when you do that, the government disappears you. And I was like, they do what now? He's like, they just disappear you. He goes, I knew someone who just fell out of their hospital room.
No.
And I went, what?
Fell out of their hospital room? Mm-hmm. That's terrible.
Exactly. And I was like, oh my God, no. And so he was telling me all this stuff about how crazy Russia is.
Yes.
Like for people that are speaking out against the government, And so then we left because he was like, oh, do you want to keep talking? I was like, obviously, you're telling me crazy stories, which I do know you're not supposed to go to a second location with a stranger, but we did, especially someone on asylum from Russia. I don't know. Maybe he's going to kill me. Who knows? But
he was pasty.
Exactly. It's like, what's he going to do?
How
Like,
much he going to hurt you?
I know. It's like, I could fall on him and break his bones. It was fine. And so we went to another bar and like, hung out and talked there, exchanged numbers, but I was also like, I'm never going to see this clown again. No. It's fine. But it was fun. And I learned about Russia and how they murder people. So boo.
Hot tip. You find a pasty man in a bar, you settle on up there and learn something.
That's a pro tip. Make sure you can always, if need to, that you can take them in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
You need to always, if you're going to go to a second location, you need to be able to fight them.
Yeah, ladies, we're all out there like taking MMA and like Krav Maga and all that. Right? We're all fighting.
Right? We're all fighting, right? Or at least at minimum, punch them like right here in the throat in that little Adam's apple-y. Oh. That can buy you a lot of time. Because like if you crush the windpipe, it's curtains for them.
Spoken from experience?
No. You're not just going around like jabbing people in the throat. Like, why? And like felt like it.
Yeah. Just testing the theory.
Just making sure it's still, making sure I still got it. Like punch him in the throat and then start a stopwatch.
I could run 30 seconds. He didn't start moving for 30 seconds. I could run.
But you should stay ready. Because, I mean, if anything, watch Law & Order SVU. And you can get a lot of training.
Oh, God. I feel like we need to disclaim, like, please go take professional training. Do not just take
Don't just
our hot tips.
Also, break a clavicle. That's all.
Oh, a clavicle?
If they try and choke you, like, I wish they could see. Here. Like, if you're like, if their arms are like this and they're trying to choke you.
If your arms are like around the throat.
Yeah, if they're using both hands to wrap around your throat, you weave your hands through the middle. So you can get in between their hands and you break down as hard as you can, like through onto their clavicle and just break it. Buys you all the time at that point. I learned that from self-defense.
Down to the ground.
Yeah, super hard down onto the clavicle bone that's right underneath their neck. If you break that, baby, you can play hopscotch after that. You're fine. You have all the time in the world.
Here's the great thing. This podcast and the entire premise of Smiling Faces is about coping and healing in whatever manner you need. And you don't have to be reading self-help books and like meditating or like, getting your revenge body. No, you can just get straight up revenge.
You can just straight up hit him.
I think that's enough. On that note, once again, you're listening to the Smiling Faces podcast produced by Mike Bryant. We are blessed to be working with our social media manager, Christine Hashem, as well as photographer Nahar Kabave. Shout outs to, again, Alfred's and Westwood, Cocktail Detective and Chris Jupitz, as well as the Earl family, Dave Allison, and all of you.
Yes! No soundboards, all vocal.
You guys didn't even know that we are in a real
That's an
airport.
insider secret.
Victoria, tell them where they can find us again.
Smiling Faces _series on Instagram and TikTok. Smiling Faces series at Facebook, and the website smilingfacesseries.com.
And feel free, if you're feeling like you've got a dollar bill burning a hole in your pocket, check us out. If you go to our website,
smilingfacesseries.com,
you will find a link to our Give Lively campaign, which is funneling all of our donations through our fiscal sponsor, Inclusivity Media, for a tax-deductible donation.
Love it.
And you'll be helping two great women in film bring this community and Smiling Faces, the pilot, to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.